Hi friends, my name is Aqil Ahmed, and in this particular video tutorial I will show you how to move files from one folder to another folder, and then while moving the file append the current date time to the file using SSIS. So the agenda of today's video tutorial is that we will see like how we can move the files from one directory to another directory, okay, and we'll append the current date time. So this is one of the widely used scenarios in a lot of SSIS packages that we need to import the data from some flat file to the SQL Server table, and once the file has been loaded, then we need to archive the file. And while archiving the file, it is advised to append the current date time at the end of the file so that we can easily identify like when a particular file was loaded. So without wasting further time, let's jump to the demo. So I got some files in the D files location, emails.csv, tab delimited, sellers2 and seller.csv. So these are the 4 CSV files, those I want to move to another folder. So I have one folder, dest folder. So I want to move the above 4 files to my dest folder, and when the file will move, then I want to append the current date along with the time as well. So it's up to you, like if you want to append the current date only or you want to append the current time only. So I will show you both the options, okay. So we need to create an SSIS package for that particular thing, okay. So let me open my Visual Studio. So this is my Visual Studio that I will be using today to write the code. So first of all, I can open the toolbox here. So there are few things here. I want to make the package fully dynamic so that tomorrow if the source folder path changes or if the destination, the archive folder path changes, so that I can easily modify my package and I can easily load the data according to the new file path, okay. So I want everything to be dynamic in my SSIS package. My source folder path is this one, D files. So first of all, I want to make some SSIS variables to make my package dynamic, okay. So what I can do, I can open the variables pane, and from here I can actually create some SSIS variables. Like the first one will be the source folder path. So I can call it a source folder path, and the data type for this particular variable will be string, and I can actually copy the source folder path from here and I can paste it here. Now I also want the archive folder path, okay. So I can write like archive folder path. Archive folder path means where the files will be moved to. So this is my archive folder path. So I can copy this particular path from here, change the data type to string, and then I can paste the path here, okay. Now when the file will move, then we will be using the for each loop container with file enumerator. So the for each loop container will iterate one file at a time. So we need to have a SSIS variable that will contain the full file path. So let me copy the path from here, D files emails.csv. So I can call this variable as file path, the variable that will hold the full file path. So I can call it as file path, and the data type will be string, and I can give an initial value here, okay. So we got these values so far. Now what will happen, that we will be using the file system task to move the file, okay, and in the file system task we need to give the source file name. So this is the source file name and the destination file name, either destination file name or the destination folder, that will work fine. So if you want to move the file as it is, you do not want to, for example, append the current date time, then you can just give the destination file path and that should work fine. But because you also want to append the current date time as well, so instead of giving the destination folder path, we need to give the destination file path along with the current date time as well, okay. So for that particular thing, what we need to do, we need to get the file name from the file path. So if we can get the file name from the file path, then we can just append the current date time into the file name, okay. So for doing that, we need to create another variable here, and I will call the variable as file name, and the data type will be string here, okay. Now what I want to do, I want to get the file name from the file path, okay. So that particular thing either you can do using the C# or you can do using the SSIS expression as well, but in this video I will be using the SSIS expression because I don't want to use the C# right now, okay, because for that we need to use the script task. So there are some expression, those you can use to get the file name from the file path, okay. So you can also Google it, get the file name from file path using SSIS expression. Okay, so you can Google it and you can get it from the online. So I can copy this one, so I can copy from this value from here. Okay, and I can go to the file name, expressions, and then I can paste it here. Now instead of the full path, I can call it as file path. Okay, and here we got another variable full path, so I can change it to file path. Now I can click evaluate expression. So now you can see that from the file path d files emails.csv, I got the file name, but I need to append the current date time after the file name and before the .csv. Okay, so what I need to do, I also need to replace this value .csv, only then I can append the current date time. So I can use the replace function here, replace, and I will share this whole script with you, so you can simply copy and paste this script into your SSIS package. So you can download all the scripts those I'm using from the link in the description of the video. So I want to replace .csv with a blank string. Okay, so if I click on evaluate expression, so now it will give me file name without extension. Okay, so I can click OK. So now the file name will have only the file name. So this is fine. Now I need one more variable where actually I can have the current date time as well. Okay, so if you further Google how to get current date time in this format from SQL Server, so this will open this particular link. Okay, so you can actually copy this select query from here and you can execute it on a SQL Server. So you can get the current date time from the SQL Server, and as well as you can get from the SSIS expression as well. But it seems like from the SSIS expression that might seems you kind of tricky or maybe hard to understand. So that's why I'm using the easiest method here. So this is using some nanoseconds, so I can remove this one. So now this is returning the current date time, year, month, day, and then hour, minutes, seconds. So if you want the if you want to append the current date along with the time as well, so you can use this particular query. Okay, but if you want only the current date, not time, so you can remove the HHMMSS from this particular query and it will give you only the current date. So whatever you think you are comfortable, you can use any of the query. Okay, so now what I need to do, I need to go back to my SSIS package and I need to declare one more variable, and I will call the variable as current date time. Okay, and the data type I will give is string, and initially I can give some initial value, some initial value just for testing purpose. It's not actually required, but I'm just giving it. You can give any other date as well, like 1201. Okay, so you can give this date as well, but this date will be calculated from the SQL Server using the getDate function. So this will always be the current date time. So now what we need to do, we got the file name, we got the current date. Now the last variable that we want is the final archive file path, like which path will be the final archive path. So I can call another variable and I can call it as final archive file path. So this will be of type string, and we need to go to expression here, and now in the expression we need the archive folder path. So this is my archive folder path. So the file will be moved to this particular folder. Now in this particular folder I want to give the backslash and then the file name and then the date and then the extension. So how we will do that, we will use the expression language here, and I will share all this code with you as well. So I can add like plus and backslash 2 times. In the expression, if you need to use this backslash, so you need to write the backslash 2 times. So you can click on evaluate expression, so 1 backslash got added. Now I need to append the file name, so I can just drag and drop the file name here, click evaluate expression. So now the file name also got added. Now after the file name I want to put a underscore, so you can put the underscore between the double quote. Okay, and you can click evaluate expression, so the underscore also got added. Now I also want to append the current date time, so I can just drag and drop the current date time here, click evaluate expression, so the current date time also got added here. This value will be calculated at the time of the running of the package. Now I want to append the .csv in the end, the extension of the file. Okay, so this will be the final file path that will be that will be moved, and all these values like archive folder path, file name, current date time, all they are configurable. So tomorrow if you want to move to another folder path, so you can give the folder path here. You can also change the source folder path. Okay, so all the things are configurable here. So you can click OK. Now we want to get the current date time, so we will be using the execute SQL task to get the current date time from the SQL server. So I can call my execute SQL task as get current date time. Okay, and then I can configure this one. I can go to the connection and I can select the new connection, and I can use a SQL server connection here. So I already have one of the connections, so I can use this one. In the SQL statement, I need to put this particular query. So if I want to put the current date, so I can use the second query, and if I want to append the current date time as well, so I can use the first query. So let me use the second query for now, and it's up to you. You can use this first query as well. So let me paste it here, click OK. So this will return a single value. Because this will return a single row, so we need to use the single row result set. Now we need to go to result set, click add. The result set name will be 0, and from the variable name we need to use the current date time. Click OK. So this will get the current date time value assigned to the SSIS variable. Now we will be using the for each loop container. Connect the execute SQL task with the for each loop container and configure the for each loop container here. The for each loop container will be used to loop through all the CSV files at this particular location. Okay, so I can go to the collection. From the for each item enumerator, I need to select file enumerator. Now I will go to the expressions, and from the property we need to select the directory property. Directory property will be used to which input directory you are going to loop through the files. So because I want to loop through the files at this particular directory D files, so I want to assign the directory dynamically, and the D file location is situated inside an SSIS variable which is called as source directory, source folder path. Okay, so I can just drag and drop the source folder path here, so that tomorrow you can modify this value if you want to loop through another directory. So I can click OK. Okay, so this directory will be used like source folder path. This is the one, source folder path D files. Now I want to loop through all the CSV files, so I will write star.csv. Now the default option is fully qualified. Fully qualified means when the for each loop container will iterate through, so it will get the folder path plus file name, and we will assign that value to the file path SSIS variable. Okay, so these are the only things that we just configured here in the for each loop container. Now I can click OK. Now we will be using the file system task to move the file, so I can just drag and drop the file system task into the for each loop container, and then I can right click and configure the file system task. From the operation we will select the move file operation. Move file means that the file will be moved to the another location, to this location. Okay, and now there are source connection, so it's saying like is source path variable, so we can set it to true. Yeah, is source path variable, and the source variable is the file path variable, so I can select the file path from here. And it's saying like destination connection, so we can set it to true. Yeah, the destination connection is also stored in a variable as well. And now we need to give the destination variable, like which name you want to give your destination file when the file will be moved. So our file name will be final archive file path. And now it is saying like override destination. Do you want to override the file if the file already exists? So we can set it to true. Yeah, we want to override the file if the file is already there in the destination folder. So now I can click OK. So our SSIS package is ready, and I can execute the package to see like how it will work. Okay, so you can see that the package should run. Okay, so you can see that the package ran fine, and all the files got moved to the archive folder path, dest path. So I can open this particular location, and you can see that the files have been moved from source location to the destination folder, and the current date has been appended to the all the files. If you want to append the hours, minutes and seconds as well, then in the SSIS package, instead of using this query, YYYYMMDD, you can actually use this query YYYMMDD and then HHMMSS. So then it will append the current date time. Okay. Yeah, so I think that was for today's video, and I will share the scripts those I used here in this particular SSIS package, especially these one like the final archive path and this one, so that you can use it in your environment as well. So I think that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching the video, and if you like the video then please click the like button, do subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and click on all so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much.